Hi class, my name is Dr. Boyle and I will be your professor for Math 262, which is Calculus 2 this semester. I'm very sorry that I couldn't be there with you in person this week. I had a conference to go to and my absence was unavoidable. So thank you for watching this video to learn a little bit more about the class and a little bit more about me. So we're going to start off here. I've logged into Canvas. So if you have found this video, I know you can at least get here. And I'm going to talk us through some highlights on the course syllabus. So you can print the syllabus off if you like, but the digital copy will be here for the entirety of the semester, and you can refer back to it whenever you need. Some info on how to contact me is at the top of the syllabus. My email is very important, especially because I'm not here with you this week. I am very responsive via email, so if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to just shoot me an email and let me know so that I can point you in the right direction. Let's see, this is Calculus 2. It is a continuation of Calculus 1. So I'm assuming that if you're in this course, you just finished taking Math 261 here at Longwood, or maybe you're coming from a AP Calculus situation. But I'm expecting all of you to have a good grasp on the material that's covered in Calc 1, because we'll just be building on those topics throughout the semester. Some things you should expect to learn. We will start the semester off by learning some more integration techniques. Test 2 will be all about sequences and series, convergence and divergence. And test 3 will be about parametric equations and polar coordinates. Calc 2 is one of my favorite classes to teach. I think it's a really great culmination of all of the algebra and pre-calculus and trig and Calc 1. Everything you've been working for your entire math career leads up to this point, and I'm excited to kind of nerd out about these topics with you this semester. The textbook should be the same textbook that you used in 261 if you took that course here at Longwood. And you should know that you access that textbook via WebAssign. So each of you is required to have a WebAssign account. As soon as this video ends, that's the very next thing each of you needs to do. You need to either go to WebAssign online or go to the bookstore and get an access code for WebAssign. So your WebAssign will contain all of your homework for the class, and it will contain your textbook for the class. The other thing you need is a calculator. We'll be using that on and off throughout the semester, but you definitely cannot share calculators on quizzes or tests, so it's important that each of you has access to one. There's some information here about calculator rental if you're interested in that. Attendance. You are expected to attend all classes. That means I expect you to arrive on time. It's a big distraction to me when students walk in 5 minutes late, and it's also a big distraction when people start to pack up 5 minutes early. So I will be every day starting class exactly at 9 a.m. and I will end class at 9:50 a.m. So those 50 minutes are very important. They're very limited, and I need every second that I can get with you to cover the Calc 2 material. The other thing about attendance, if you miss more than 25% of the scheduled class meeting times, you will receive a course grade of an F. That's just policy. It does not matter if those absences are excused or unexcused. It's important that you be in class to learn the material. Also, since class time is limited, I can only cover a limited number of examples and problems. So I'm going to be picking and choosing which ones I think are most important, but it will not be a comprehensive list of every calculus question that we could possibly cover. So you need to also be doing your due diligence outside of class as a student. In bold here, class attendance is not a substitute for reading the text. So just keep that in mind. Your grades. Your homework will come through WebAssign. It will constitute 10% of your final grade. I will post a homework assignment somewhere between 10 and 15-ish questions for every section of the text that we cover. Math is just one of those things that you can't learn by watching. You have to learn it by doing it. It's also nice if you work together on your homework assignments, because one of the most effective strategies for learning content is to teach it to someone else. So working together kind of gives you the opportunity to do that. So I definitely encourage you to find a good study group. The homework sets will usually be due before 8 a.m. on the Monday of the following week. But it is up to you to keep track of those due dates. So it takes a little bit of independence here to keep track of these. I won't always announce, remember, we have homework due on Monday, because I'll just expect you to be in that routine. Quizzes and labs will also be 10% of your final grade. I'll give you quizzes periodically. They'll be based on your homework assignments. Basically, the idea is that when you're doing your homework, you'll have access to your notes. You'll have a week's worth of time to do the homework. You'll be able to work together. You'll have Google. So just because you have a high homework average doesn't necessarily mean that you've mastered the material. These quizzes will just be another check to make sure that you are really learning the content that you need before we get to a high stakes test situation. The labs we'll do in class, usually on Thursdays, and they'll just emphasize kind of broader picture topics. It'll either be just more opportunities for you to practice with my help, or it could emphasize the use of computer software so you get a better conceptual understanding of something. But those will just be kind of classwork assignments that we'll turn in periodically. Tests, there will be 3 tests. Each one is worth 20% of your final grade, and the final exam is worth 20% of your final grade. The important thing for tests and the final is that they absolutely cannot be missed unless you have some legitimate emergency absence. The Longwood website details what criteria need to be met for it to constitute an emergency absence. But if you miss a test, you must go through the proper vehicles to make sure you have proving to me that it is an excused absence. Just because you wake up and you don't feel great, that doesn't mean you can miss the test. That's just life. We don't all feel 100% all the time. But legitimate emergency absences, obviously hospitalization, court, I don't know, car accident, things do happen, but just make sure you're providing documentation if that's the case. Otherwise, I will not be giving makeup tests or exams. Grading policy is the standard plus or minus grading system, and the rest of the syllabus just kind of details some academic support services, accommodations. So click through these links and read through these on your own time if you feel you need extra support this semester. The final page of the syllabus, before we get to the final page, I do have a tentative class schedule. This is something that I like to personally print and keep in that plastic part of my binder as a student, just so I can make sure I'm keeping track of what I'm supposed to be knowing on a given day. So you can see here that we do not have class this first week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We also will not meet on Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. So our first class meeting, our first in-person class meeting will be next Wednesday, January 23rd. But you do have a to-do list in the meantime. So once we finish with the syllabus, I'll talk you through that to-do list. We do not have class Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but you do have some tasks that I need you to do on those days to make sure that we're going to start the semester off strong. And as you look through this list, you'll see that we're covering about a section a day. So it's very important. Calculus is one of those topics where you should expect daily homework assignments. Every day we'll cover a new topic, which means you should go home and try some of those problems. The more time you wait, the further you'll fall behind, just because the pace is so quick in this class. So yes, this is a good thing to print off and keep with you. The other thing to make note of in bold, I have those test dates. So as I discussed earlier, write these down. They're very important. You cannot miss these Thursdays. I have them scheduled on Thursdays because we have a little bit more time together on those days. Now, the last page of the syllabus details how you'll get enrolled in WebAssign. If you've never used WebAssign before, you should use this list to get you started. And all of you will need our class key to log in. So once you buy access for the semester, this class key will get you access to Math 262, my course that I've set up there. So I know that was really quick. But I encourage you to read through that syllabus in detail on your own time. The next thing I wanted to show you is what this to-do list is for your week where I am not with you in person. Number one, watch the introduction video. So yay, you're doing that right now. Read through the syllabus on your own, and then take the introduction survey. This survey is going to count as your first quiz grade of the semester. And then after you finish that quiz, you should get set up with WebAssign. So, WebAssign. The quiz, the introduction survey that counts as a quiz is here. You should take it. It's just like a get to know you thing. Just doing it will give you a 100 as your first quiz grade. Yay. WebAssign, when you log in, will look like this. And you can't see your homework assignments yet because I'm recording this video before Monday, January 14th. But when you log in, your homework assignments will usually be under the tab for My Assignments. What I need you to be able to find is your textbook, and that textbook is located in the bottom right. When you click on the link for the textbook, it opens in a new tab, and you'll see all the different sections of the text. You should recognize some of these earlier sections from 261. I assume you went through chapters 1 through 4, because we're going to start with chapter 5, integration. And if you click that link, you'll bring up the subsections of chapter 5. This week, you'll be working through sections 5.1 and 5.2. On your to-do list, I've detailed all of the notes I need you to take and the associated homework problems that I want you to attempt. On Wednesday, January 23rd, when I see you in person, we will take a very short quiz on antiderivatives. They'll come from section 5.1. These are things that I was told you did learn in Calc 1, and we'll need you guys to have a very good grasp on these skills before we start building on those techniques throughout the semester. So to help you get started, I did post another review sheet that I need you to print off. I know this is a lot of things to do, which is why I made you a to-do list. But each of these rules needs to be memorized before that quiz next week. So print this off, make sure you know how to take the antiderivative of each of these elementary functions, and let me know if you have any questions. So best of luck this week. My email you have, work together, and I will see you next Wednesday.